This is going to be a video on mercury. And mercury in the hand is the pinky, and it represents communication. People probably heard about Mercury being retrograde and everything gets messed up, and communication and deliveries and whatever get very confused and protracted. Mercury has to do with the pinky on the hand, but it also has certain numbers and signs and things that are associated with Mercury, but we'll start slow and go over things. Now, this over here is the mount of Mercury, right under the pinky. When the mount's prominent, the person tends to be have a lot of Mercury tendencies, which is good communication. And when there's a line coming down from Mercury and going towards the lifeline, that was considered the hepatita or the health line. And that comes from Mercury. And they found that most people that have this line also are good communicators, because Mercury has a lot to do with communication. This would be an X under Mercury, which of course is the pinky. And it's right above the mount of the moon, which I was saying before is almost like the percussion side of the hand. When a person's hand is relaxed and the pinky separates from the index finger, which is Apollo the sun, the person has independence of action. And the person will act on their own behalf and independently of anybody else. And like any other finger, it has the three phalanges. It has the mental and the emotional and the physical aspects to it. And a long Mercury finger, usually people get involved in occupations that have to do with communication. Now, we went into this. Mercury is the pinky, of course, and it's ruled by people born on the 5th, the 14th, or 23rd day of any month. And in its positive aspect, it's people born at the end of May or in June, or Gemini people. And also from late May through June, okay, which is the cusp of Gemini. And they tend to be excitable and nervous, and their nervous system could be under attack. They tend to worry, and they can have insomnia. Also, things with the throat, the bronchial tubes, nose, and eyes, all the things that have to do with communication. Now, on the negative aspect, again, it would be people born from late August, like the August the 19th through September, or Virgo people. And Virgos tend to be hypochondriacs in a sense, and taking drugs, mental stress, emotional problems. As you see, Mercury has a duality. Even though the person's a good communicator, they tend to be a little high-strung. And of course, Gemini has like two aspects to it, almost like Pisces, pulling in two different directions. So, and everybody's heard of the term mercurial, changeable. So Mercury also has to do with travel and change, like in the 5th house of the astronumerology, or the Kaishi. When something's in the 5th house, it's either changing or there's some travel involved, which sometimes, as I explain, could be a quest, going someplace for a specific purpose, and the purpose sometimes outweighs and its importance outweighs the distance. So it's just interesting to look at Mercury. Now, when somebody looks at a birthday straight out, and they see a lot of 5s in it, or numbers that add up to 5, like 14 adds up to 5, and so is 23, the person tends to be very mercurial, changeable, good communicator, very up and down in their emotions. Like, let's say somebody was born May 15th, 1955. They have all kinds of fives. They would be extremely mercurial. And they would tend to overindulge. If there's too much mercury, they can get angry, or they can overindulge any pleasures of the flesh, so to speak. They have to watch about over-drinking, overeating, any overindulgences whatsoever. But that's what mercury is. It's under the pinky on the hand, and if the amount is very well pronounced, the deposit of mercury would influence their life, and that's late May through June. And if you see a lack of amount and it really looks indented, then you're talking about September or Virgo people. So people born at the end of August or in September. So you can analyze it whether it's positive or negative. Negative doesn't mean bad. It means a lack of.